Hello everyone, welcome to MetaBlock Technologies. In this series of upcoming videos, we are going to discuss the basic to advanced concept of blockchain architecture. Blockchain are very popular nowadays, but what is blockchain? How does it work? What problem do they solve and how can it be used? Like the name indicates, a blockchain is a chain of blocks that contains information. Once a transaction has been recorded onto the blockchain, it becomes immutable. A blockchain is a distributed ledger that is open to everyone. I've used the term immutable. What does immutable here means? Immutable means once a transaction has been recorded onto the blockchain, it can never be changed. So let us understand this, what this technology is about and how does it works. Let's address an issue that blockchain attempting to solve. So today, if a person A wants to transfer money to person B, that is from country A to country B, this is typically done using a third trusted party. And it works as follows. First of all, A says, I want to make a transfer to B and ask a third trusted party to make a transfer to B. The trusted party identifies B and the bank account of B's, then make a transfer after charging some fee for this transaction. This typically takes about 3 to 7 days, but it takes some time. But what is blockchain attempting to solve in this? There are three things that is blockchain attempting to solve. First, to transfer the money without the third entity in the middle. Second, to do it faster than 3 days, actually immediately. And the third is to do it cheaper than the cost that the third party charges. Now let us understand how blockchain will resolve this issue. The first fundamental we are going to talk about is the distributed open ledger. Let us understand this again with an example. Let's say we have a network of 4 people that wants to make a transfer to one another, and let us assume that at start all of them has 100 rupees each. Now let's see the concept of distributed open ledger, how it is implemented in blockchain. Let's say A wants to move $75 to D. What is going to happen? We are going to add a transaction, that is A move to D $75, and we are going to link it into the already existing transactions. Now let us assume that B wants to make D a transfer of $25. So we will going to do the same. We will link this transaction into the ledger, that is into the chain, and says B to D has transferred $25. Okay, so this is the concept of open ledger. It is essentially a chain of transaction, and it is one of the reason it is called blockchain. We are going to talk about blocks in upcoming discussion. We are not going to discuss this right here. Okay, so this chain of transaction that is open and public to everyone, which means it is distributed across all the nodes in the network. Everyone owns the network can see where the money is, how much money each one has, and second, everyone can decide whether the transaction is valid or invalid. For example, now A wants to move $50 to B. Everyone owns the network can see immediately that it is not a valid transaction because A does not have enough amount, and this transaction will not be added to the open ledger and will not be part of the chain. The open ledger is replicated all over because replication gives you number of different advantages, like if one of the replicas get corrupted, the other replicas are there to make sure that the integrity of the information contained in the data structure is maintained. And also replication gives you some kind of guarantee of integrity of data. And it is distributed in the sense that the different computers involved in the blockchain actually are running distributed algorithms in order to maintain the data consistency and integrity. And the consistency of data is maintained by a process called consensus. Consensus means that everybody agrees that the data that goes into the ledger is what they agree to put there. But now the question arises, how these blocks of information are linked together. So here we the open ledger is replicated all over because replication gave you a number of different advantages, like if one of the replicas get corrupted, there are other replicas to make sure that the integrity of the information stored in the data structure is maintained. And also replication gives you some kind of guarantee of consistency of data. And it is distributed in the sense that all the different computers involved in the blockchain actually are running different distributed algorithms in order to maintain the data consistency and integrity. And the consistency of data is maintained by a process called consensus. Consensus means that everybody agrees that the data that gets into the ledger is what they agree, all of them agrees to put there. Now, the question arises, how these blocks of information are linked together? What is the technique behind the linking of these blocks? So we have a cryptography technique called hashing that is used to link these blocks of information to each other. So the integrity of data is maintained because of cryptography, the consensus and the replication. We are going to talk about the cryptography technique in the upcoming videos. Therefore, blockchain is a data structure that is maintained distributedly and that is replicated, and the main purpose of blockchain is to maintain the integrity of data. Blockchain is a data structure that is maintained distributedly, that is replicated all over the network, and the main purpose of blockchain is to maintain the integrity of data. Integrity means that the data, once it has been agreed by all the relevant parties to put it into the ledger, it cannot be tampered. Nobody has come and changed the data and claims that this is the data that was put in.